back in the house if you're not quiet. You keep barking at me. No, you're not going down there. Hi, everybody. It is Robbie from Southern California. Well, we have no internet today or electricity. They're working on power lines. Remember I told you during the storms, a lot of hillsides came down. Well, a lot of power poles were not looking that good either. So periodically they come through on certain days. They shut the electricity, internet, everything off for the day. And then they replace one pole at a time. So today they're doing another pole. So I figured since I have nothing else to do, yeah, right, I'm doing gardening and everything else. I am going to do a zip around the garden on the deck only, even though it's a total mess. And I just realized I've got to do a lot of hummingbird feeders. So here are some salvias I picked up from the 99-cent store. Here's another, oh, they need water. This is another flower. These are zinnias I grow. These are geraniums. You literally just stick a piece of geranium in, it grows. Last year, I had a bunch of, I think this is penstemon. And I was sticking pieces around and they're growing. Celery, walking onions, very bad place for it. Too much shade. So I'm going to have to move that because when they're in shade and we have this May gray, they get insects, black fly. You can wash them off. That's all I do, spray them with water, they're drowned, and then more come. But if I move them in the sun and they dry a little bit more, I won't have that problem. Look, I bought myself a fuchsia, and here it likes it because it gets indirect sunlight, and it's been doing really good. Look, another one just opened. So that's what's going on here. Again, more flowers. A neighbor gave me this, so I just stuck it there a while back, and got plants in there. These are the trash cans I pick up from Walmart. I think I'll change this up. That's from last year. It kind of stretched out the material. This one still looks good. And again, here you've got penstemons coming back from last year and different salvias coming back and just different things. Geranium could look better. Then this is just a planter I had picked up. Put this here and stuffed it with, I stuffed it with these flowers I bought. There was a tray of them and I separated them. Aren't they beautiful? But these are called the hummingbird lunch. It's a cupia. So I've got a cutting here and a cutting here, and I think there was a cutting there that did not take. And I'm suspecting this is milkweed back here now. Another cutting of a geranium there, and then these are just those pink flowers, and that's just the fountain there. Okay, let's keep walking. There's a couple things here I just realized I didn't do a video on yet. Now this is some mushroom plant that came off the kitchen window. It wasn't looking that good, so I've got to trim it back more. This is emu bush, the yellow one. I did some cutting, so that's there. This is nothing. Sow thistle, I'm going to get that out. This is my first Cosmo from seed. This, you don't have to tell me it's completely wrong. I know, I just get a kick out of it. I planted this entire package from Dollar Tree, and only one seed came up, but that's okay. But look at that. Look how tall it is. Now, you're supposed to trim it. And when you trim it, it bushes. But I just let it go right now. I think that's really cool. I've got it tied on to this rack that I got at Harbor Freight. So on both sides, see, and this is just a bucket at Christmas time I picked up. And then it's in a pot, its own pot. And I just sat it here, so it's off to the side. And it's hanging there, and it's just going up into the air. I just love it. Nothing here. This is a total mess. You're seeing it as we go. Literally a mess. Here's the irrigation tubing that I use all over the garden. One of them. This is the 1/4 inch. Get it at Walmart. I think I pay $6 for it when I order it. I just ordered, this is probably the one I ordered. I just ordered one. And then I use these cutters. I also got at Walmart for $1. Online free shipping. I don't know how they do it. I did order 4 and 2, but it was funny. It didn't matter how much you bought, and it's shipped for free. And then that's the wire Gary gets, I believe, at Home Depot. And this is rebar wire, and that's also cheap, but you go through it like, what, takes you a couple years. It's like 200 feet or more or whatever. And then here, more flowers. They don't look that good. You know why? Because it's a Cosmo and you've got to trim them back. If you don't trim it back, the plant is done. Then lettuce. I just stick lettuce everywhere. So I got lettuce growing there. I got lettuce growing there. And then I've got my columbine, which was not happy. I had it over there and it was dying back. And when I moved it, look at this. It doesn't like the sun. And then this is just some purple cabbage I started and something got there. I never found the worm, but I know it was a worm. So I brought it out here. And look, they're making a comeback. I just don't have any place for it. tree collard and some peas growing. Oh, look at that. Back there, zinnias. They grow everywhere because the seeds drop. More mushroom plant from the window. See all my mess? We're going to go this way. Hold on. There's something I haven't done a video on. So I'm going to find something. Oh, that's my plant. You know what? I've got to put that there because I forgot to plant it. I picked that up at the nursery, and then there was a bunch of leaves that I can grow. I better put that in sight. So anyways, here is, like I said, it's a mess. I'm going to redecorate this and show you how we're going to do it without painting. This is beautiful, though. They're easy to paint. I'm thinking of putting one somewhere else on the deck because the hummingbirds feed on this, but I'm redoing this. Just more plants I got. See, lettuce growing. Just like I said, it's going to look bad before it looks better. I'm literally pulling things around, thinking what I want to use. I've got flower pots everywhere. I kind of retired that for a few moments and moved it. I've got my kitty litter I use for everything. Toilet paper rolls, just leaves and stuff. My gloves, soil coming out of one pot going into another. Oh, I'm going to make something out of this. And I better do it quick. Actually, you know what? Let it dry. I think it's going to be fine. I used the inside of the shark fin melon when I made some ground beef one night and mixed that in. And I didn't want to throw it away because Gary was going to make something, and then he said he didn't have time. So I said, I'm going to make it. So let it dry out. Again, we're just kind of going through everything. Here is a lot of broccoli. Now, I don't know where I'm going to put it right now, but I've been feeding this to the emus. They love broccoli leaves, but I do have to find a place for it and water it better. Peppers from last year. This is one I got. Hold on. Okay. Celery coming up in here, but I've got to do something because this is the sweet potato plant I want to save. Lettuce going to seed. I've been using the bottom leaves. And then the sweet potato rooted in here. Look at that. So I want to remove that, roots and all. Clean this up so this pepper will come back for the summer. And then I'll have it growing here and something. Oh, look what it did. It broke off the lettuce and in a pile. Every time I see that, I think of our wood rats, which they call peck rats. What they do, they're native rats. They're not regular rats, is they remove the foliage and they leave it. They let it dry and then they come back and they pack it in their dens. But I don't know if that's what that was, because the toes will do odd things too, and the toes are birds. And then I've got more. This is tricolored sage. I don't even want this. It just came up. It's just some sort of tomato, which I really, look at this, a tiny pot. It's already going to have flowers. Maybe I'll leave it. Purple cabbage. I've got to find a place for that. Peas I just grew for fun. Oh, look. How funny. A pot with nothing in it, and that is sow thistle. Then I've got my lettuce growing, and it looks bad because we're harvesting every day, even last night. So we harvest and harvest. These two don't look that good. If they don't make a comeback soon, I'll put something else in there. And that's what you do. They don't look good. This one's growing. This one's growing. These two aren't. Pull them out. Freshen the soil a little bit and put something else in there, because look how nice these are. Again, if you're not going to eat it, take them off because the plant takes care of that. It's also very damp. Even lettuce doesn't want to be that damp. It's just too damp. They want to be wet, but we've been so damp in the morning. But I constantly, every night, I'm coming through here, and you saw all the other, we don't want the sow thistle in here, taking away from the plant. I just come through here and harvest constantly for us. So I make a nice salad at night, or he puts it in tacos or whatever he's making, tostadas. But that's what I try to remember to do. That's why I don't get to a lot of stuff, because I got gardens everywhere. She's running around. There's our avocado trees. Okay, so let's go over here. This is a celery growing in here. That's all I want. And then I've got some peas growing here. This is the Traveler's tomato plant, and it's not looking good. Again, I think it's the weather. A lot of tomato plants are all temperamental, and they're all different. Like different in, temperatures and climate. I'm not sure what's going on with this. Now the bottom looks good, and the bottom there looks good. I may have to trim it, or eventually, if I want, I can take the whole thing out and start over because I have a lot. Look at the purple cabbage. Look at the pot. Tiny pot. And look how beautiful this is. If I didn't want to grow the purple cabbage, let's say a big cabbage head, I could use the leaves. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to leave it right now. Chocolate mint. And then here is the hoods we made. And we've got lots going on in here. I got a broccoli planted here for the emus. I put a purple cabbage in here for now. Just stuck it in there the other day. This is, I'm sprouting the hummingbirds' lunch. This is just the sprout. You don't see anything here. So to get it going, and propagating it, in other words, there's 2 cuttings in there. And this is the squash that came up from seed. Though it came up in my tool, I moved it here. Look how nice it is. I better put that on soon. Now, this is the watermelon I moved there. You probably saw it a week or so ago. It is growing. But again, watermelon grows in the desert. I know Palm Springs has big watermelon farms. It is just too cold for the watermelon still. So I'm protecting it because I don't want a bird to come get it. I made this little thing just from a tote lid, just something I can just put on top. And we'll see what happens with that. 2 broccoli plants again for the emus. And then this is because I want to grow purple cabbage. Just a conglomerate of stuff throughout here. More lettuce. This has been sitting here for almost a year now. Lettuce here. Something's chewing on it. I am suspecting the way it's chewed on. These are birds coming in here. Goldfinches will eat the greens. The toes will eat the greens. Some pepper plants back there. I think that's a flower because I've got one here. It's dying back. These have little white flowers, see? And I did plant those, so I'm suspecting that. 2 big purple tree collards, and I used leaves off that. My moringa, which I do believe I'm going to cut soon, to here. So we'll do that, and then let's keep going here. Oh, this is the tote I set up for the birds. Had the lid on it. I was composting in here. Well, this came up, and this is a zucchini. So we're going to go ahead and cater to that now. This is just a cutting I put in here. I don't think that's going to make it. Going to have to think about that. I'll show you in a minute what that is. And then that's onions, celery, my garlic. It was too many in there, but we used the greens. The greens are really good. And then I've got zinnias coming up. I think this is marigolds in there. Marigolds come up everywhere. The seeds must fly, or I must pick them up and not think about it and drop it. Marigolds, sow thistle, marigolds. Oh, look at it. That's the other bulb. That one never grew. I planted 4 bulbs in here. And in the winter, 3 of them came up. This one broke off and decided to grow. This one never grew. I thought it was dead. Hold on. They must be multiplying. Oh, I'll have to keep an eye on that because now they're coming up. Gladiolas. Cool. All right. And then lettuce. More lettuce. It's not doing that well back there, but that's okay. For here, I want the celery. And I do use the celery. Again, if you're not going to use some of the celery, you take it off. You don't even like celery. You'll drag it off, but you won't eat it. I know that. You take it off and you compost it. But the celery's doing really good. Now, this are the tomato plants I got from, see, here they are. They're the yellow pear ones. Let me see if I can show you. See these? I have like a yellow pear. There was 2 in a pot. It was at the 99-cent store before they made the announcement they were leaving. And then it sat, and I didn't plant it, got abused. I'm going to have to put a cage or some irrigation tubing there to hold it up. That's about a 1-gallon trash can. I separated the 2 plants. So here's one, and here is the other. They are doing fantastic. I'm really excited with them. Now, there's my zucchini, which you better not eat my plant. I'm going to take off soon because if I don't, look how beautiful that is. I don't know if these will grow, and they're kind of slowing down a little bit. And the reason is they've got a big fruit to take care of. So I'm going to take that off, I think, tomorrow. Leave it for another day. See, there was a little line there. So it's just, this is nothing, but it's just kind of like, it's stretched. Kind of like a stretch line. So I'm going to get that off soon. Take off any leaves that are yellow it doesn't need. Back there is celery. This is just for layering. I can move this at any time. These are pots, small pots, or I can put another pot there, fill it up with kitchen scraps or leaves or whatever, and it will continue to feed this squash That's a zucchini that's growing in a dish plant. That's 4.5 gallons. That's all it is. Marigolds come up on their own. That's what this is. This is for the hummingbirds and the orioles that feed on there. See, I made that with irrigation tubing with the 4 tomato sticks. Then more lettuce, celery. What's back here? Oh, nothing really. I'm kind of propagating this. This will make it. I should take the flowers off. More different geraniums there. That's just an onion that's being abused. Whoops, by me. The lettuce is, actually, it's starting to bolt. But I've got lettuce in there. This, see how powdery mildew? That's because of our weather. But this is just a purple kale. This is different. These are salvias. Now this is a purple. This is all coming back from last year. So last year at Mother's Day, Gary bought me this. And I think it was from Lowe's. And there were 3 different colors. There was this one, the blue, the purple, and I think there's another pink. And I cut it all the way back and look. Look. The hummingbirds love it. They're coming back. So I've got all that going. I'm so excited from last year. Didn't do anything but just stick some pots here. So here's another one coming back. So that'll be really nice. More hummingbirds lunch. And that is also a cutting that I did. These just have been sitting here. They got to be cleaned up. More cuttings of geraniums. This I picked up at the nursery recently. And I just love the flowers. I don't even know if it's, oh, it does have a tag. There's the tag. So now you know what it is. Now this, I just saw this on the Chelsea Flower Show. They didn't talk about it, but I saw it sitting there as a specialty flower. This is Angel's Perfume. I think I still have the tag. Very hard to find. It is a geranium. This is the Angel's Perfume. I'm going to have to propagate it, the guy told me, because they cannot get any more. I got this a few months ago and the plant looked dead. So I brought it back to life. They had 2 and I really wish I would have got them both. But it's easy to propagate. So I'm going to start propagating very soon, because if I wait too long, that's what I was going to show you. Sometimes they don't propagate good. More salvia. This is the firecracker plant. I literally found a piece at Home Depot. It was that big and it took a year and then it just bursted into flowers. Look at this. This was a free plant. Isn't that beautiful? There was a piece on the ground. You do want to go through and get out other things growing in there. I don't even know. Oh, that's a lettuce. Keep that, and I gotta water that again. And then this is another pink one, but this is not the Angel's Perfume. Let's see what this one is. This is scented one. I liked it because it's got the same shaped flower. Now, something's making holes in them. I'm not sure what it was, or maybe it was there and I didn't see it when I first got it, because the new flowers don't have it. But see how the flower is very similar? Except this one's, not only does it smell good, it's so beautiful compared to that. And a little bit bigger, but they're beautiful. So I broke down and bought this one. I just like the colors. Again, easy to propagate. I only got 1 of those, but I should have got 2 of those. This is what I was talking about. Now, this plant is dying back. This was in my bird garden. I took 1 cutting off. You saw it just a few minutes ago. When it's dying back like that, if it's starting to rot inside, a lot of times you can't propagate them. So what I need to do is start doing a lot of cuttings off of this and getting something out of this right away. But sometimes you can't save them at that point. There's something inside, but hopefully I'll get 1 piece off. It's just a plain geranium, and I bought it for that color. But if you see one of your plants, especially a geranium, starting to die back, I better not wait until something happens to that. Those are temperamental, by the way. These are not, well, see, a specialty color is, but when you go with the reds or the pinks, a lot of, like these are hardy. You rarely have a problem with these at all. But because I waited, it's going to be hard. See, I don't have any pieces to show. I don't want to just break. Sometimes when you break it off, you'll see it's dark inside. That means it's already been contaminated, either from the roots. It could be a mold, or it could be the plant just simply dying back. Sometimes you can take the whole thing out, wash the roots, and replant it, and you can save it. Try whatever you can. But if not, you can find geraniums in a lot of places. Now, this is popping back to life. I had this in a small pot. I just transplanted it with a bunch of wood chips. There's wood chips all the way up to here, and then soil from other pots. And look how beautiful. It's flowering everywhere. We're going to have flowers all over. This is from last year. I believe it's penstemon with grasses coming up. And then this is another cutting of a light pink geranium. And then more cuttings. And then this, Gary brought home. This is an emu bush. I transplanted the one, this has got berries, see? I transplanted the one that was in the bird garden, and this was kind of an offshoot, and it wasn't doing good. This was in the same pot. So I'm babying it with a little water down there, and see if we can get this to reset its roots, because there's very little roots on this. And if it does, it does, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'd be better off to do cuttings. But I have a really good plant in the garden that I can just take some cuttings off. And like I said, it's going to look more like a mess than anything else, but this is what I'm doing. I come out here, oh, zinnias I planted from seed. This is just something, again, I picked up some sort of succulent, and I broke it apart and transplanted some of them. Here it is. This is my sun gold. This plant looked like it was not going to make it. It literally looked dead. No joke. It was all moldy, the plant. So you still see some leaves back here that are moldy kind of looking. Let's see. I don't know if you can see it, but it's gray. I really didn't have any hope for it. But I went ahead and transplanted it. It's maybe 2 gallons. And it's actually looking good. It just popped back to life. I've got flowers starting. And that's where I'm going to leave that one. And I will be doing cuttings because there's a lot of suckers on the very bottom. As soon as I know I'm going to take care of it, I'm going to start taking the suckers off and getting more sun gold growing. And that should be really good. What else is there? Oh, I was going to show you this. Now, this I grew from seed. I can uncover this right now. This is I think it's called a bush baby zucchini. I grew this before. I grew that in a dish pan. Like I grew it in one of these. And I had zucchini. And I let one go. I let it go completely to seed because I wanted to collect the seeds. Now, I didn't know if the seeds were going to be any good because they look so tiny, but they are. They're really good. So I am really happy with that. That's just a pea I threw down there. I don't even care if the pea makes it. They fix the soil. They're nitrogen fixing, so I just planted it in there. I'm going to put some mulch around here. This has been really interesting because it's been trying to grow more roots at the base, and that works out really good. But this I may stake, but it's a small plant. It only needs a small pot, and they'll grow zucchini. They're not real big. They'll probably be about this size, but a little bit fatter. And then, well, you pick it when you want. You can pick them when they're small, but I left the last one because I wanted the seed. And that's it. Like I said, I've got a lot to do. This is the Voyager ones that I've got growing now in the garden. I've got them in the bird garden. I planted 2 of them. Gary told me he was going to take some. He now doesn't have time. And I don't need that many. And then I've got seedlings growing too. Do we have to worry about you eating my plants? No. She's good. All right. So I know it looks terrible, but it's getting there. I think it's going to look really good in a couple. It would look good if I finish up this mess. But I'm kind of going through and deciding what pots I need here and what I don't, and then put some away. And I had things growing in here that I transplanted. I use milk cartons. I use everything. That's right. I had a geranium on the bottom. That one didn't make it down there in a trash can. I can get something growing in there, cilantro or something on the bottom. The wire baskets I make that are stands. And that's it. I just thought to give you a quick zip because I haven't done the deck for a while. Give me a couple weeks. Isn't the flowers, the cosmos beautiful? And I think it will, like I said, truthfully, if I came out here and just cleaned it up, it would look nice right now. But right now, all I'm concentrating on is what plants I want where, what's going in the bird garden, what's staying here, and how many more I want to set up. And I think I want to do a couple more of these $5 totes. I get these at Dollar Tree. This has worked out really good. It catches the water on the bottom, and this should grow into a giant plant. And it's just the perfect size. Look at them. They're 10 gallons, and you could grow 2 tomato plants in there. I could grow zucchini, and of course, I'm going to put some broccoli and other things in there. I'm really crazy about those. It's a really good size for a small garden. So this way you can get more of those and more plants than putting the 18-gallon ones that are quite, bigger. And then you don't want to overcrowd the plants because they'll be fighting each other. I like to have more containers, and you can actually, less is better because you're going to have more containers with more plants growing. Too many plants in one container, then you're fighting with them. So this has worked out really good for here. In the gardens, I like going with the 18 gallons. They hold more water because the more you know, the bigger the container, the water will be held in there. And I love plastic because the plastic does not evaporate. So you always have drain holes. You put the drain holes where you want. I've got an inch of water in there. It goes down there. I can water the other plants. And even when it gets really hot, this is going to be holding water in there really nice. Look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous in a little nothing tiny pot. So I hope you enjoyed this quick spin around on the deck. I hope I've given you some ideas. When I walk through, tell me, do you get ideas even when I don't say something? Do you see something and go, oh, she's using metal clothespins, or she's wrapped tulle around that, or I'm hoping you see things, because a lot of times I don't even think of what I'm doing and I just go for it, and it works really good. Like this is 3 trash cans. These 2 are put together like my wire stands. And then when I want, I don't know what's in here, I collect the water. And that water is like plant food because I know what I put in there. All kinds of leaves and stuff. So the water, that one's got holes in it. And it gets onto this plate. This is over a year old. And then it runs into here. And then I just have to remember to go fish it out. No mosquitoes or anything gets in there. And I just fish it out and water the other plants. Isn't that cool? Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to go do the hummingbirds. Got a million and one things to do. And I just thought, you know, I'm grabbing my camera and we're going to go for it. So with that, have a wonderful day. And don't forget, oh, cool, to eat what you grow. And I don't want to really twist this off yet. I'll twist it off tomorrow. And then that will give all the new ones time to grow. And I think that will be good. I'll give it one more day. Okay, with that, have a wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. Zoe, you want to say goodbye? Say goodbye, Zoe. Say goodbye. Oh, no. I know what you want. You know what she loves? She loves toilet paper rolls. Oh, gosh, how funny.